And then when Stacia said, well, how about ReCoded? And we were like, I was screaming and jumping. I was like, yeah, we got it. And it was such a feeling of exhilaration. And it was just like, oh my God, this is it. This is our name.
Yes.
Right? It was like, okay, this is really, really getting to the heart, to the essence of what we're trying to do here. ReCoded.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. We are so excited. The day is here. We have been, chomping at the bit for a few weeks now to share. And as you can tell by our title and our new logo, we have a big reboot. We're very excited to share why we've done this, why the name, and what to expect on this new journey with us. So officially welcome to ReCoded, the podcast where you will explore with us how to experience life on your terms.
Yay!
Yay! We have
confetti.
Yeah.
And we had come up with another name. Decoded was the original thing that came to me. We felt like decoded was leaving things incomplete, and decoding is like go in there and deconstruct and take it apart, and all the things that I say let's not do. And the name was saying let's do that, and I was like, it's so close and I love it, but there's something that's just not sitting well with me. And then when Stacia said, well, how about ReCoded? And we were like, I was screaming and jumping. I was like, what? That's it. And the most exciting part was like, we were like this, when Sarah went to look at the names, right? Because every name up to that point was taken or, even trademarked and everything. And then we're like, okay, Sarah, go look. And she's like, oh my God, there is no other podcast that is called like this. No one else is called ReCoded. And we're like, oh my God, ding, 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 jackpot. Ring your bell, Sarah.
Yes, exactly.
It was like, yeah, we got it. And it was such a feeling of exhilaration. And for me, it was just like, oh my God, this is it. This is our name.
Yes.
Right? It was like, okay, this is really, really getting to the heart, to the essence of what we're trying to do here. Mm-hmm. Because the ripple will happen, but what we do is so much deeper than a ripple, right? We are literally recoding our programming and creating a life, by design that is lived on our terms. And and we want everybody else to be able to do the same thing, because the way we've been doing it so methodically and consistently is creating amazing results for us. And, we go through the ups and downs and the highs and the lows, just the same as everybody else. But in a long stretches of time, we can look back and go, oh my God, even through all the highs and the lows, we're still on track. We're still headed in the direction that we are choosing, and not in the direction that was input into our energetic field and living from this place of, well, I don't know, and letting life happen to us, right? We're literally making life happen for us, even though it does always happen for us, but we're intentionally creating a life that we choose. And that is so exciting to me.
Yes. So besides the changing of the name, which was just quite a wonderful process, we decided to really switch the energy up of this this platform. We wanted to restructure it in a way that would be, as our lovely Sarah, it would be easier for our audience and for us to share information. And we changed up the energy really of the whole platform, which I love. So I'm all excited. I'm like, you got me all worked up here. But we're still going to have, like, the quote, for instance, the quote of the day segments, because when I started doing these quotes, like, I was always looking up quotes. I would have calendars of quotes. Like, I just love quotes because there's so many wonderful authors throughout the years, past to present, that, I'm always looking for ways to broaden my perspective and to see things from someone else's point of view. So I love sharing these quotes because, it's things that I pick up that have really helped me to, in this transformation of mindset. And I like to share that with others so that maybe they'll pick up something that'll help them in their, on their life path. So I'm excited that besides these quotes, we're really incorporating something from each of us. So, I'm really looking forward to how we're going to come on here and really share from our hearts. And, I think that this is really going to elevate us to where we always knew we were just figuring out how to get there.
Oh, that's so well said.
Yes, well said. That's awesome. Even though, I see us like, that private club where only the people in the know can get in. I also, there's an aspect of, but I don't want Stasia's expertise or Sarah's expertise, like, to go unnoticed. And if we're doing this, it's like, why aren't we bringing this to the table? Like, this could really elevate the content that we're sharing with you by just bringing in each of our expertise, which is so interesting because when we came up with the name, we really went deep into, okay, so what is it that we do? What is it that each of us do? And we're looking at it, and it's like, okay, Sarah does this, all the business stuff, the strategy, the how to find your genius and do business on your own terms, right? Stacia, it's all the mystical, magical stuff and how to apply these incredible tools to also navigate your life with more ease, and then also use these transits and like astrological things and the tarot and the crystals and all these things, how to utilize them to create a richer life, right? And then for me, it's like people, you all haven't even heard me do sound healing here. I've not done one sound healing. And so it's like, oh my God, we have all these talents and we're not bringing them to the table. And ultimately, the part where we intersected was in that part of experiencing life on your terms, because we want to live life our way.
Yes. So each episode we'll have a topic. We'll still have our discussion, but then we'll have our segment. So we each have our own specialty that our segment will focus on. And what will happen is, so based on the topic, our segments will direct back to that topic. So Stacia, why don't you share what your segment's going to be?
Oh, thank you. So I think of myself, my actual group is Magnetic Energy Intuitive. And I really think of myself as an energy intuitive because I cover the energetics of like the universe and the planetary and the person. So what I do each week is I go on in a couple of groups and I talk about the astrology, the astrological events that are happening. And I really try to focus on the main ones that could really people could feel that in their energy field. So it's really highlighting just the big stuff. Like for instance, today we have a new moon in Cancer. And what I would do is I would come in and I would talk about the sign, and I would talk about, this is an energy of, feeling, and it's so many feelings, and how this potentially might come up in somebody's energy, especially if they are not doing the work, so to speak, as we talk about, or people around them are not doing the work, like how they might react, the potentials that can come out of this energy that is, it's really coming in at all of us, and it's going to hit us all differently. So I just really tune into, what I feel might be important. And I pull tarot cards in the group. So on here, I'll probably just give you the highlights. It's really going to really be the listeners. If the audience is asking for more, I will gladly come and give you more. But it's really just, the astrological, the energetics of the astrology that's happening for that time period, as well as, I'm a Reiki practitioner, and I do crystal healings, and I'm literally a moonologist. Like I have all of these titles that, someone messaged me the other day. They're like, "You're a Reiki master?" I'm like, "Oh yeah." She's like, "I didn't know that." I'm like, "I should probably tell people that, shouldn't I?" So, and I love that my segment that's going to be coming up is called Astrology Illuminated. Like, I feel like that is just such a powerful term, because really ultimately that is what it's about. It's shining a light on things that are happening, and it's giving you this tool of how you can move through it with more ease and more grace. Even when it feels like things are kind of getting shaken apart, a lot of times the universe is coming in to let us know that there's something that we need to look at, there's something that we need to change. And we're just here to help you, move through that as easy as possible, so that you can really tap into your full potential of, who you came here to be as a soul. So that's what I'm here for.
I'm so excited for that. I've been wanting you to do more of that. So I'm excited that every episode is going to have a segment with you doing it.
Yeah, fantastic. And also what I love about this is that it's going to be dynamic, right? It's not a okay, this is a segment, whatever. If like things are happening, it's like we're going to adapt to whatever is happening.
Right.
For me, what I'm good at doing is literally going into the DNA of the person and going deep into the energy of it, and releasing all these blockages, or releasing anything that's not allowing you to move forward, and allowing people with super simple tools to create a transformation that is instant, that is practical, that you'll know, okay, I have to do this for me to get from point A to point B. I can take these steps and it'll get me there. Because I find that a lot of the people that are out there will tell you, okay, you have to do this, but they don't tell you how to do it, right? Because it's like, oh, you want the how, you got to pay me. And for us, it's never been the thing. It's like the more we share, the more we're blessed. I feel in my life that the more I give, the more I receive anyway. So for me, it's like an honor and a privilege to keep sharing more of that thing that I do, that, that I don't know if I think it's half and half. It's like Lady Gaga, right? I was born this way, but also I've cultivated these skills, and it would be a disservice not to bring them to the table, and not to be able to share, and not to have people that may be at a crossroads, or at a difficult moment in their lives, or 3 feet from gold, right? Ready to explode. And they get this one tool that can change everything for them. So I'm always looking for that one thing that I can say that can change somebody's life. And for me, it's so exciting to be sharing, the sound healing, which is like my biggest passion. But also, I think we're all like Renaissance women, right? We've done so many things. Like I've been a speed reading
Yes.
instructor, with the partner who was the partner to the woman who started speed reading, who invented speed reading, right? And so I been into the workings of how the mind works and why, like I connected the why it was so hard for people to meditate, right? And what the mind was doing to sabotage that. And we were able to remove all of those blockages. And it's like, well, your mind is going to do that, but what if you do it like this? Or what if you go into your body and look at it from another point of view? And then all of a sudden, I have people like Sarah who thought would never meditate in all her entire life, meditating on the first time, right? On the first week. No, you did it on the first day, right?
Yes. You simplified it. Like your process for meditating, I don't know why more people do it, teach it that way, because, and people, I will say to people, oh, I have meditation, oh, I can't meditate, and I'm like, I thought that too, but they're like, oh, I can't just sit there and not move and this and that, and I get itchy or my mind goes elsewhere. And it's like, yeah, that's gonna happen. Like you just took all the like that. I think that's stress of like, oh, I'm itchy and I need to scratch, or oh, I'm thinking about my grocery list. Like you took the guilt away for that coming up in when you're meditating, and like gave ways to, I don't know, just
to handle it.
That at the same time as meditating, like where it was like it took it away and it was no longer a thing. It was like, oh, okay, this doesn't have to overpower me and make it hard to meditate. It was like a kumbaya situation. It was like, oh, okay, I can
kumbaya meditation.
Yeah.
I like it.
And like, oh, okay, like it's okay to scratch. It might take me 20 minutes to get to the itchy spot, but it was like, it just took all the stress away. Like it just, I am so grateful that I jumped into that when I did, and it's been like 3 years now.
Yeah.
And also I wanted to mention, Hannah brought up her speed reading. I also took that course, and I always said I'm such a slow reader, it takes me so long. And again, that way, that like the way you taught that made, again, it took like all the stress, all the like, oh, I can't read fast, and just made it like, oh, here's like just simple ways to start reading. You didn't even know, oh, this is going to be the thing that helps me read faster.
And you noticed because I apply everything, right? From the sound healing, from the mind works, from the speed reading, from everything, I bring it all together. And in that program, I remember that you had a feeling of that you couldn't do it, or you weren't like smart enough or something like that, because you were a slow reader.
When I was younger, right? Yeah.
The imprint. It's like they imprinted you with this idea that was such a lie.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, we buy into the lies because these adults are telling us things. Our families are doing these things. They're acting this way, and we think that is the way. Or we get judged and, abused some of the times by adults who, have no idea how much impact they have on our lives. And it can, one judgment, one criticism, one word can change a child's life for the worst. And for me, it's important to go and remove all those lies out of your system, mm-hmm. so that you can be a free thinker, that you're not anchored by these stupid constructs that don't serve us, but we're born into them and we're like, okay, I'm here and now I got to learn how this world works, as opposed to I'm here, now I'm going to change the world.
Yeah. So needless to say, everybody's in for a treat with your segment.
Thank you.
I'm so excited for people, because now they get to experience what we get to experience every week. So.
Oh, that's so awesome.
And what's the name of your segment?
Spa for the soul. I use the same name that I use for my retreats because I've been doing these retreats for, oh my God, 15 years already. And they create such a difference. They make a difference in people's lives when you start treating your spiritual life to things like sound healing. It's like when you go for a massage, right? And you come out and you're like, oh my God, I'm so glad I did that. Your body's thanking you. In the same way, when you go through these processes, you come out and you're renewed and you're like, you can even see colors more brightly. And like even the colors look different when you come out of these things. And so I wanted to bring a little drop of that into our podcast.
Yay. I'm so excited for that.
Me too. Me too.
And Sarah, tell
then
us about what
And
you
then
do.
there's me. So I started in the offline world, and when I stepped into the online world, I just felt like everything was so like cookie cutter, carbon copy. And I really like rejected it. And I was like, this isn't the way I want to do business. This is definitely not the way I want to coach people how to do business, right? But for me, if you are like passionate about something and you're like, this is something I really love doing, but I don't know how to like turn into business, or I don't know how this would become a program. I don't know how me loving to hike every day with my cats could turn into a business program for somebody, right? Or a book, right? I've had a client write a book before. So if you like, for me, when someone starts with like, I'm passionate about this, it's like, I can run with this. So each week I'm going to be bringing you the business side of things, the strategy side of things, the organizational side of things.
I've taken your programs. They are life-changing.
Oh,
Okay, so you're not going to hear from Sarah like how to declutter a room. It could be part of it, but there's
why not? I love it.
but you'll know about the importance of why decluttering is so important, and you'll understand how clutter affects your business, how it affects your train of thought, your thinking. It affects every aspect of your life because it's a reflection of your mind, right? And but in the way that you have broken down the ways like to launch a program, right? How to come up with a name, how to be prepared for a launch, how to have everything ready, what you're going to need to plan ahead and to be on top of things, to remove 99% of the stress.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It is life-changing because people don't get taught these things.
No.
We come out into the world and we're supposed to know how to run a business. Who taught us? Like, I never got taught that in school.
No.
They taught me stuff at school that I never once used.
Yeah, exactly.
And they had us repeating like parrots. I would just learn everything and leave. Like when I was in high school, I'd leave school because I was like so bored. Because, we're getting programmed to remember everything by heart and repeat and repeat and repeat the same thing. And it's like, if you ask a question, you get in trouble and all those things. And nobody taught us that. So you went and literally broke down the process to make it so easy and so painless that, believe me, people, when Sarah speaks, take notes, because the reason we got this name, the reason we've done this revamp in the way we've done it is because we followed her process.
I feel like Sarah's, her processes they work for people that aren't trying to even be in business, because she's teaching people the structured intentionality. And when you put that together, you can turn something that you're dreaming about, you can turn that into reality for yourself. So many years ago, I took one of your programs, and that is how I came up with my name, the Magnetic Energy Intuitive. It was what we did, what you walked me through getting there. And it's like, this was everything that I felt represented me. And it's something that I'm still holding on to. And I'm like, yeah, that's me.
Aww.
Awesome.
Beautiful testimonials.
Yes.
So my session's called the Business Success Playbook. Yay.
Even the names excite me. I like, oh, this is so fun.
Oh man, I'm excited for our segments. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and you know what's funny is, yeah, we're fangirling over each other.
Astrology Illuminated, Spa for the Soul, and the Business Success Playbook. Yeah.
I was just seeing, you know, how maybe our listeners would say, send us questions every week, right? And say, for example, Sarah, it's like, oh, my passion likes crocheting and I do these beautiful things. How could I turn that into, I just don't see how I could possibly turn that into a business. Can you give me some advice? And you know, have a time when you're like, well, you could do this, you could do that.
Yes,
and
definitely.
little tips on how they could at least get themselves thinking into the possibility that they could succeed doing what they love. Awesome. Do we have a quote? Quote of the day.
Daisha, why don't you share our quote of the day?
I will happily share the quote of the day. So I found this quote by a gentleman you may know as T.S. Eliot. He was born in 1888, and I was like, what a fantastic year to be born in my neighboring St. Louis. I'm over here across the state. So he says, for last year's words belong to last year's language, and next year's words await another voice. And to make an end is to make a beginning. And I thought that that was just absolutely perfect for this energy, this renewed energy that we're coming here with, you know, and just where we want to see ourselves moving towards the future. And I thought it just embodied everything that, you know, represents this new reboot that we've done on this platform. So
it's perfect. Our jaws are hanging open.
Oh my God. Every time I have to pick my jaw from the floor.
Happy reboot day.
And we'll see you next time.
Yes, we'll see
thank you
next time.
ReCoded.